going on, everybody? What is going on? It is your boy Darion coming to y'all live with another video. It is the Silver and Black podcast. Shout out to all the subscribers that have subscribed to the YouTube page. If this is your first time ever being at our YouTube page, I would suggest that you subscribe and hit that bell button to get the latest news in all Las Vegas Raiders news. But we're here with another Raiders video, and we're here to talk about Mike Mayock's press conference that he had today at the NFL Combine. Now, Mike Mayock talks up Derek Carr. He reiterates that the Raiders need to evaluate every single position. So we're going to break down of what he said in his press conference. And I just have to say, Mike Mayock knew the status of his quarterback, Derek Carr, was going to be a dominant subject at this press conference at the Scouting Combine today. Now, it was the second question that it was found its way through the further questions as well. So it made it to the second after two questions are coming up about Derek Carr. Now, Mayock did his best to focus on the positives of Derek Carr and not go back in the stance that the QB position is under evaluation. Now, he is surprised. He did say that, I'm surprised it took two questions to get to Derek Carr, but thank you. Mike Mayock said in the response that is inevitable. The question is whether is he committed to is he committed to Derek Carr as the Raiders QB? And then he says, I mean, the bottom line is this. I think everyone needs to understand the level of Derek Carr did play last year. The guy completed 70% of his passes. He had a 3-to-1 touchdown ratio. And I think we're number 11 in the league in total yards, and we're 7 in third down conversions. We did a lot to do good things on the offense last year, but the disconnect is we didn't score a lot of points. You're 11th in yards and 24 in points. There's an issue. It's the defense, it's the special teams, it's not scoring in the red zone. It is not scoring goal to go. To me, there are the issues. And then he ended up stating that Derek Carr play at a high level, and I'm very happy with Derek Carr. Told everyone that I've been in touch with since the day I took this job that we're going to evaluate every position in every year, evaluate the position every year. If we can get better, we will. The guys get tired of me saying that, but it's really what he told Mark Davis before he took the job, and that is his mantra. That's exactly what he said. This is what the politics would like to call a spin. They definitely like to call this a spin. Many people can point negatives from last season, but Mayock wants to see the positives. Those stats look great on paper. Not mentioning that it doesn't automatically mean that Mayock and the Raiders are blind to his faults. Now, likewise, I have to say, it doesn't mean that Carr is the future of the franchise. It could mean he wants other teams to focus on other positive things that is going on with the Raiders in something in a trade. But should the Raiders go down that road and would need to replace Carr, the big name has been thrown out there, which has been Tom Brady. And Mike Mayock was asked about his feelings in those rumors about the reports. And he said himself that I do not make any rumors, Mayock said. I can tell you about I can't really tell you much about free agent because I'm not allowed to talk about it. Anyway, I've watched the tape of every guy out there at each position. All that does is uphold what I'm telling you is every position gets evaluated every year if we look to upgrade as well. Now, I can say that he handled this absolutely fine. He did this absolutely fine. He definitely handled all the questions that he had in his press conference. And then Mike Mayock slammed the door on Antonio Brown, saying he had his time with the Raiders. And I have to say, lately Antonio Brown has been coming out, has been teasing, saying that he thinks and he's in hope of returning to the Raiders. From saying that, it just spoke on to John Gruden recently saying whatever that means, honestly. To literally wearing the Raiders hat in the picture. He posted on Twitter adding that he wore his Raider hat just in case of second chances. And I did see it on his Twitter that he did put that up there, but I really don't care about him wearing his Raiders hat. He's not coming back to the Raiders. And the problem is Mike Mayock has memory. He said trading for Antonio Brown was the biggest mistake that he made as a GM thus far. He's rightfully points to what happened with Brown is a primary reason that the Raiders wide receiver course is such a mess last season and it definitely needs a need heading into this draft. Now, he probably also had a pretty fresh recollection of Brown calling him a cracker and threatening him to hit him in the face. Now, Antonio Brown had very little comment about what Mayock said. And then he said, I think it's time. I think it's time with the Raiders. It's done. His time is up here in the Raiders. And he kept it short and sweet. And I love the fact that he kept it short and sweet in this press conference. But and the way that Brown acted during the brief time with the Raiders and the way he celebrated after the team granted him his demand to be released, he's clearly suffered from a combination of desperation and delusion if he thinks that he will ever come back to the silver and black. He's not coming back to the silver and black. And I love the fact that he's ready for the combine. He's ready to evaluate quarterbacks. He's ready to evaluate every position at this combine, knowing the combine starts on the 27th and it ends on March 1st. So with this combine and with this press conference that Mike Mayock, I give it an A minus. I love the A minus because I feel like some things that he could not talk about due to the fact that Mark Davis probably didn't want him to talk about or John Gruden didn't want him to talk about. But Mike Mayock is very discreet. But at the same time, he told us what we needed to hear. Derek Carr is our quarterback. Derek Carr is our quarterback. If we have to upgrade in the draft to get a quarterback, fine. I would have no problem with that. But at the end of the day, I do feel like that Derek Carr is our quarterback, and he spoke highly on Derek Carr. And I love the fact that he did speak highly on Derek Carr just because the Raiders needed this type of conference just to address the rumors, to address the trade talks and all the information about the Colts wanting Derek Carr and how the Bears wanting Derek Carr. He really didn't go too deep into that part of it, but he did say that he had a heck of a year. He had a heck of a year, and he said it has to start with special teams, defense, and it has to get better overall as a team. It's not just blaming Derek Carr, not blaming him for doing this, not blaming him for doing that. It's a team effort where we got to improve. So that's my personal opinion on this press conference because I love the fact that Mike Mayock went into this and addressed this press conference. Absolutely astounding. I really do love the fact that Mike Mayock is one of those GMs that he likes to break down film. Even though that he's a GM, he still like to break down film and still consider himself like an analyst in some instance, knowing that we know a lot about him when he was at the NFL Network. So with that being said, y'all, how do y'all feel about Mike Mayock's conference at the NFL Combine today? Let me know what you think. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It is the Silver and Black Podcast, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.